DJI was not the first company to release a small $500 drone, but they did take the Apple approach and release perhaps the best compact drone on the market right now. The DJI Spark is basically the size of my iPhone 6s Plus, and within minutes of taking it out of the box, I was already flying. So whether you're looking for your first drone or a drone you can take almost anywhere, the DJI Spark might be what you're looking for. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into the review. The DJI Spark currently comes in 5 colorways: white, red, green, blue, and yellow. The base model retails for $499 over at Amazon and includes the drone, 1 battery pack, a carrying case, an AC adapter and USB cable for charging, and some replacement rotors. The Fly More combo retails for $699 and you get everything in the base model plus 2 more batteries for a total of 3, a charging base for said batteries, propeller guards, a bag, and a separate controller. If you're planning on flying a lot, the Fly More combo is a good idea. If you want to pick up the DJI Spark, I'll have links in the description below and I'll keep them updated so you can get the best deals possible. And if you're looking for deals on other drones, you can check out my friends over at riznos.com for deal alerts on almost anything. So we're going to do a quick walk around of the drone. For starters, the DJI Spark is heavier than I expected. 99% of the body is made up of hard plastic. There are some rubber footers on the belly of the Spark which absorb the shock when you land it and it gives it a good amount of grip. There's a power button on the back and 4 LEDs that act as a fuel gauge. Under the Spark tab, you'll find a micro USB charging port and a micro SD card slot which goes up to 64 gigs. On the front of the device, there's a 3D imaging sensor which help it avoid obstacles and it's already saved my butt multiple times. There's also a second sensor on the belly of the Spark that help it know what's underneath it. There are 4 rotors on this drone and no, they don't fold up. The props themselves do fold up though. The camera on the Spark is a 12 megapixel sensor and you can take pictures and record video at 1080p 30 frames per second. It's housed in a 2-axis gimbal and it can compensate for pitch and roll. But it can't turn like on the Mavic Pro. Instead, you have to turn the whole device if you want to get a pan going. It's kind of like Christian Bale in Batman Begins where he has to like turn his whole body. With low wind conditions, the camera quality is very smooth, but when the Spark is hit by a gust of wind, you'll notice some jerkiness in the video. But the Spark does a very valiant effort of trying to keep the camera steady. Concerning battery life, remember when I said the Fly More package was a good idea? On a single charge, the DJI Spark is good for 16 minutes of flight time. In order to charge the battery from zero using the micro USB cable, it's going to take around an hour to an hour and a half. So just keep that in mind. At this point, you might be wondering, how do you fly this thing? Well, you have 3 options. First is with gesture control. You basically turn it on, hold it at an arm's length away from you with the camera pointing at your pretty little face, and press the power button twice and it'll start hovering in front of you. You can tell it to take a picture of you by making a rectangle with your fingers. If you hold your hands out, you can move the Spark left to right or up and down a little to adjust your shot. This is usually when I start pretending I'm a Jedi and I do my best Ben Kenobi impression. Use the Force, Luke. For over 1,000 generations, the Jedi Knights were the guardians of peace and justice in the Old Republic. Before the Dark Times, before the Empire. Everything up to here works flawlessly. If you wave your hand from side to side, the Spark will fly back and up so it can get a bird's eye view of you. This is where stuff gets a little finicky. I've noticed that when the Spark is farther away from me, it has issues tracking me or understanding my gestures to take a picture or not reading my come back gesture. You can also control the DJI Spark from your phone. You'll get a live feed of what the Spark sees with very little lag. The Spark connects to your phone via Wi-Fi and it has a range of around 300 feet. Pro tip, to check out your drone's SSID and password, take out the battery pack and check the underside. And finally, you can use the separate controller that gives you physical buttons. Since there's so much going on with the touchscreen, I really wish I had that controller. But if your drone were to lose connection with your phone, it'll either hover in place until it establishes a connection or it'll fly back to where it initially took off. The video quality on the DJI Spark is good enough for any enthusiast that wants to get aerial shots, epic selfies, or just wants to jump in a drone game. But obviously, the video quality on the DJI Spark is not great for professional use. I've never had this much fun or anxiety reviewing a product. The DJI Spark is so easy to fly, and the optical avoidance is much more accurate than I expected. It was even able to detect individual branches. But keep in mind, there are no lateral or rear sensors, and my drone has experienced some severe crashes. But it really only suffered minor scrapes, and it was immediately ready for takeoff again. The Spark is tougher than it looks, but just keep in mind it's not waterproof, so don't fly it in the rain or crash it on water. Due to its small size, the DJI Spark is a little harder to control when it's windy outside, but it does try very hard to steady its shot. The DJI Go 4 app is really well made and intuitive. I haven't had any issues using it whatsoever. Obviously, you can control the DJI Spark with it, but you can also view and edit your captured videos. I'm gonna be honest, manually editing your videos in the DJI app is a little annoying, so I prefer using the auto edit feature instead. There's even a simulator so you can practice flying your drone. When flying your drone with your phone, you have a few options. You can manually control it, you can use tap to fly, you can use active track, which will automatically follow any objects you highlight, or you can even just use the Spark as a tripod.
Overall, I love the DJI Spark. It's so fun to use and it's so easy to fly. But if you are going to be flying a lot, it's a good idea to invest in at least a second battery. You can't go wrong with the DJI Spark, but keep in mind for the same money, you can also get the Phantom 3, which has a 3-axis gimbal and a flight time of 25 minutes. But it's much bigger, so you gotta ask yourself how important is size to you. But for $500, the DJI Spark is well worth the money. Whatever you decide to record with your Spark, just know that you can share or post your videos anywhere just seconds after landing.
Hey, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. It helps out more than you realize. For more product reviews and deal alerts, check out jimcaddy.net. If you want to support the channel, pick up a shirt. And I'll catch you next time.